What's going on, everybody? Top 10 Pokemon back. That's right. It is once again time for our weekly Pokemon card auction recap. Folks, I got some truly amazing auctions, so please stay tuned to the very end. You're going to see a couple of amazing custom cards that I am pretty positive you ain't never seen before. Folks, the spiel. Please like, please subscribe, please use my eBay affiliate link if you do any shopping to support the channel. Thank you. Alright, in typical fashion, we're going to start out with some modern sales. Starting off with this special delivery Charizard. However, this week we saw a PSA 9 come through, and it sold for $239. And then we saw two CGC 10 Perfect Celebrations Charizards come through. Here is the Japanese version that sold for $670, while the English version blew it away, selling for $1,601 US. Alright, let's cover a few of the Pokemon Go cards. We always got to cover the newest set that's out, which as of right now is Pokemon Go. Here is a promo Mewtwo V from the Elite Trainer box. Came down a bit this week. It was selling for over $100. This week one sold for $64 as a PSA 10. Here we saw a gold Mewtwo V-Star that sold for $247, while the Rainbow Mewtwo V-Star sold for $311. We saw the alternate art Mewtwo V sell for $267, and then we saw this Rainbow Dragonite V-Star. We haven't seen this one come through an auction yet, but it sold for $153 this week. And then lastly, we saw the Radiant Charizard sell as a PSA 10 for $255. What's that, you say? You want to see a ton of alternate art cards? Well, you're in luck, as I'm bringing you a lineup from the cheapest to most expensive alternate arts all throughout the Sword and Shield series. Here is an Arceus V from Brilliant Stars, sold for $127. Here is a Starmie V from Astral Radiance, come down a bit from what we've seen it before, selling for $190 as a Gem Mint 10. Here we have a Beedrill V in PSA 10 that sold for $197. The Mew V from Fusion Strike sold for $210 this week. The beautiful Dragonite V from Evolving Skies, $219. We saw a Machamp V from Astral Radiance sell for $255. The Blaziken V Max from Chilling Reign sold for $256. We saw a bunch of Evolution V Max cards. Here's a Sylveon that sold for $256. The Espeon V Max from Fusion Strike sold for $262. The Glaceon V Max, $304. And then we saw a beautiful Rayquaza V Max selling for $403. And the Charizard V alternate art from Brilliant Stars, a beautiful, beautiful card that sold for $420. And in my personal opinion, the king of the alternate arts thus far in all of Pokemon, the Umbreon VMAX, the Moonbreon, whatever you want to call it, still selling for a hefty price. This week it sold for 660 big ones. Alright, on to some miscellaneous modern cards that I couldn't really categorize. Here is a Lugia GX Rainbow Rare from Lost Thunder, sold for $710 this week. We saw a Mega Charizard EX from Flashfire, got the PSA 10 and sold for $405. Here is a Secret Rare Alakazam EX from Fates Collide that sold for $289. We saw a Primal Kyogre EX from Ancient Origins that sold for $456 this week. Then a couple of higher end Evolutions cards. Here is a Machamp pre-release staff promo in PSA 10 that sold for $1,151. And then we saw a regular holo Charizard from Evolutions. We haven't seen this card come by in quite a while, but it's still selling for about $2,080. Alright, just a few of the more desirable full art trainer cards. Here's a full art Cynthia from Ultra Prism, sold this week for $330. The full art Lycia from Celestial Storm sold for $475. And the Lily, as she usually does, blew them both away, selling for $870 this week. Alright, now on to, I guess, some miscellaneous vintage cards that I didn't quite know where to put in this video. Here is a beautiful Jolteon holo from Sandstorm. I'm really, really digging this card. Is a PSA 10 that sold this week for $1,525. And then from Diamond and Pearl Secret Wonders, this holo Suicune sold for $406 this week. And then here, this is just a card I haven't seen very much of. It is a reverse holo Wartortle from Fire Red Leaf Green that sold for $219. Speaking of Fire Red and Leaf Green, here's a Moltres EX that sold for $570, while the Articuno sold for $385. Here's a couple of vintage CGC cards. Here is the CGC 10 Pristine Shadowless Bulbasaur, sold for $187.50. And then this German CGC 10 Perfect First Edition Pidgey from base set. And this is the German version. I guess its name in German would be Topsy. Sold for only $41. So it is evident to me that the demand here for base set is mostly for English and the Japanese variants. Some more WotC cards to go over here is a first edition Holo Zapdos from Fossil, sold for $660. A first edition Misty's Gyarados from Gym Challenge sold for $698, while the first edition Giovanni's Gyarados sold for $1,200 this week. A first edition Rockets Hitmonchan sold for $451, and then we had this CGC 9.5 first edition Pichu from Neo Genesis. This card in a PSA 10 is an absolute grand slam. I don't think I've ever seen a PSA 10 come through an auction in all of my years of doing an auction recap. This one here sold this past week for $830. So the buyer of this might possibly be trying to get a PSA or BGS crossover, hoping for a 10. I don't know. If that's the case, good luck to you. We had one unlimited base set holo, and it was this Chansey in PSA 10 that sold this week for $2,247. And just like the title says, it is the lowest PSA 10 pop of the base set holos of the unlimited variety. Alright, a couple of beautiful Japanese cards to go over. Here is a Japanese Pikachu V from the 25th anniversary box, sold for $420. A beautiful full art Lugia EX from the Plasma Gale set, sold as a Gem Mint 10 for $510. Here is a beautiful Japanese Houndoom holo, one of my favorite Houndoom arts of all time, sold this week for $618. And then we saw this full art Luigi Pikachu card sell for $1,876. Here's a Japanese promo Mysterious Pearl Winter Challenge card that sold this week for $5,225. And then here I wanted to make mention of this. This actually isn't an auction, but I just did a top 10 video of the top 10 most expensive graded booster packs. And I reached out to the seller. He did confirm to me that this was sold. This is a PSA 10 graded Expedition booster pack featuring the Charizard artwork, and it did sell for $1,625. And before we get to our PWCC weekly auction recap, I got three beautiful Charizard cards to go over. Here is the one from EX Power Keepers that sold for $2,400. Here is an SGC 9 first edition base set Charizard that sold for $15,600. And then a PSA 10 Gold Star Charizard sold for $20,099. I do love me some Probstein subtitles. Looks mint. Great. It should. Alright, the PWCC Weekly Auction Recap had a few bangers. Let's take a look at a few of them. Here is a Black Label Pikachu Stamp Box promo that sold for $2,280. We had one Crystal card in Crystal Nidoking from Aquapolis that sold for $2,130. Several Gold Star cards. Here's a Gold Star Vaporeon sold for $2,070. The Gold Star Flareon sold for $2,190. The Gold Star Jolteon sold for $2,310. And then we saw this Gold Star Kyogre from EX Delta Species that sold for $3,240. Here was a PSA 9 first edition base set Charizard that sold for an even $21,000. And then here we have three custom Pokemon cards. They are custom and autographed. Here we have a Midori Harada signed card. Looks like a drawing of a Golbat on it. PSA 8 sold for $8,100. Here is a PSA 10 Ueyama signed card with that Ueyama's Pikachu design on it, sold for $15,600. And then our auction of the week, of course, has to go to this Ken Sugimori autographed PSA 9 card with a little Pikachu illustration on it that sold for an even $33,000. And folks, that is it for our auction recap. Please let me know what you thought in the comments below. I, of course, look forward to hearing from you. That's all I got, folks. Thank you for tuning in. I'll catch you in my next one.